Hello, another day, another walk. We're going through Horsley Village today. We're going down towards the church from this field, down by the churchyard, across the fields to Horsley Lane at Coxbench, and then back up to Horsley Village in a circle, and we'll end up back on Ladylea Road and back home. Today we're taking the path through the field where the cows were on Sunday, and I'm standing more or less on the top of the hill here, and we've got a good all-round view of the area, and we're scanning around now looking at Horsley Village. You can see the church spire, and beyond those two trees is Holbrook on the ridge. As we scan round, we can't actually see Belper, but that's in the direction of Belper, and then back round towards Horsley Woodhouse, and the way we've come from the stile on Ladylea Road through this field. So we're just going up to the elderly persons bungalows on the Dovecote at Horsley. This will take us past the school and onto Church Street. So that's where we've just come. We're now going down the Dovecote towards the middle of the village. So coming to the end of the Dovecote now, and that's the junior school, and that's the junction with Church Street. Nice to see a red telephone box, which is now a library full of books. And that's the new village hall. Just there, recently built, not been in it yet. And that's one of the three fountains that I showed you Rosamond in the last video. This one is Blanche, and it's at the end of French Lane, just opposite the village hall. And here's another plaque that gives a little bit of local history. Beautiful chestnut tree on the triangle just in front of the church, and underneath that is the third of the fountains as we walk up towards the church. And that's a little chapel that was. So that's Sophia. It's probably the most impressive of the three wells in architectural terms. Really beautiful, stone carved. And that's St Clement's at Horsley. Obviously it's Easter time, so the symbolism is there, and a sign on the gate saying it might be a good idea not to go in, which is fair enough, and we'll respect that. We're going to turn left and take the footpath towards Coxbench. Down the side of the churchyard, and that's a glimpse of the churchyard and the graves. And we're going to carry on by the stone wall. And we're going to go towards the pylon. There's another path down there towards that pylon. Not quite sure where that takes you to. We're going that way. And that's looking across at Holbrook. You might be able to make out the church, Holbrook Church. Unfortunately, there's an electric pylon in the way, but it's quite a pleasant view across to Holbrook. And in the valley is the A38, which you can't see or hear. Not much traffic on it anyway at the moment. And just turn across slightly, you should just be able to make out the steeple of the church that we've just walked past. So it really is a good spot for a fine view of Holbrook. That's towards Little Eaton, and then the way we are going is towards Coxbench. A line of pylons in the countryside. Just to the right of the line on the skyline is the position of Horsley Castle that we talked about last time we went through the golf course, in the trees there. And the pylons leapfrog across the countryside all the way towards Hege, I think. There's another view of the church and the path that we've just come along. And in the distance there's Horsley Lodge golf course. You can just make out Horsley Lodge itself. You know, you live in Derbyshire and you think, let's go up the Peak District, the scenery is fantastic. But you know, we're about a mile from home here. We've not used the car, we've walked it, and it's absolutely glorious. And the scenery, probably not quite as spectacular as the Peak District, but it comes a close second. At least somebody's working, and his past will carry on along the footpath. There we go, farm machinery in action. We're approaching. Some years of wear on those steps. And out onto Horsley Lane. Maybe this stone came from Horsley Castle too. What I want to show you is behind the wall. That is a very, very old railway carriage. It's been here for years. I'm sure somebody will know what it is. So in those trees on the top of the hill is the site of Horsley Castle. And as we know, it no longer exists. There's just a few mounds of rubble, but most of the stone was used in farm walls and buildings in the locality. So we're just approaching Coxbench Road now on Horsley Lane, which Coxbench Road follows the contour of the valley, and Horsley Lane does an up and over and joins it further down. So here we are at the junction, Horsley Lane and Coxbench Road. And we've just been told there's a footpath just on the left, so we're going to take that back up to Horsley Village. And here it is. Sounds like the Hound of the Baskervilles has got his eye on us. He's down there. And that's looking again towards Horsley Castle on the hill. And the cottages in the foreground are on Horsley Lane. And we're going that way, back towards Horsley Village. And we're told this comes out near the church. So we're back in the field with the tractor working in. And instead of coming up there, we're going to go there, never very far from a pylon. And as we come over the top, the church spire comes into view, leading us back. Another prospect of Holbrook. And you can probably just make out traffic on the A38 at the bottom. Not quite sure what farm that is. I'll have to have a look on the map. Breathtaking view this is. And here we are at Church Street. There's the church. And that's the new village hall, with a house being built immediately at the side of it, which is strange. So we're going to leave Church Street and go back across the field. Same field but a different path. We're going right. More machinery in the background. Looking at the Dove Cut again. Holbrook in the distance. These trees are absolutely beautiful at this time of year. Just coming into leaf. We're looking towards Smalley now, and there's some houses on the skyline which I think are Wilmot Drive, next to the cricket field. And as we pan round, we're looking at the golf course again, and beyond I would say that's Rose and Crown Hills. Panning round, we're going towards Smalley Mill Road, Cloves Hill, Brackley Gate, and behind the tree our old friend Horsley Castle. Houses there on Church Street, Horsley, and the Dove Cut. Well, we're coming up towards Laidley Road, and as far as the off-road walking goes, that's the end of the walk. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolutely glorious day. It's not too hot, not cold, but we've had a bit of fresh air, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. We'll see you very soon, and stay safe.